Hey everybody, I'm going to go over my top comics for 2025. 2025 didn't just deliver good comics for me personally, it delivered confidence in comics, like some big bold swings, some big reinventions, some indie books that hit harder than some of the bigger events that were out there. So I'm going to break down over my top 10 favorite comic books. No order on this one, no countdown, just the books that mattered to me the most. So, on this channel, we like to talk comics, pop culture, and tell stories that actually leave a mark. And this list isn't just about sales or hype cycles. It's really just about the comic books that made an impact on me this year. I probably don't have as diverse of a palette of comic books right now. There's a lot of indie titles out there that I missed. Some of these are going to be mainline, but I have a couple of indies in there too that I really enjoyed. So hopefully you like these books as well. If not, go out and grab them. They're good comics. I think you'll love them, I promise. So one of the books on my list is a book called Exquisite Corpses. It's an American action horror comic. It's a limited series by James Tynion and Michael Walsh. It's published by Image Comics. It came out this year, I think probably earlier this year around April, May. And the premise of the story is every 5 years on Halloween, the wealthiest families in the United States play a game in which 12 of the deadliest people have to kill each other, and the survivor wins. So that's the basic premise. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of mood and restraint. It's pretty unsettling. It's very flashy. I love the art in it. I love the story in it. The characters are cool. It's definitely atmospheric and one of my favorite comic books of the year. So I'm going to get this one out of the way because it's coming. Absolute Batman. Absolute Batman is Bruce Wayne stripped down to his most dangerous essentials. It's not comfort Batman. It's confrontational. It's intense. It's deliberately challenging. It feels less like a reboot and more like a statement about who Batman really is when everything else familiar is removed. The story by Scott Snyder, the art by Nick Dragotta, and there was a few other artists that chimed in this year. The character designs are phenomenal. It's just energetic. It's gripping. The horror elements and the Lovecraftian themes are just absolutely intense. It's an awesome action packed ride. I definitely recommend it. You don't have to be a Batman fan to like this book. The fact that he is Batman is just happenstance. Really, really enjoy it. Definitely check it out. Absolute Batman. Let's stick with the Absolute universe here. We're going to go through it. We're going to go Absolute Wonder Woman. So this book finally puts Wonder Woman back into the mythic territory for me. It leans into legend, power, consequences. It presents Diana in a timeless and terrifying, really new way that you've never seen her before. It's dark. It's gritty. There's that mythological epicness to Wonder Woman that I absolutely loved. And from time to time that would appear in the mainline Wonder Woman books, but not necessarily consistent. It's definitely not a superhero book. It's confident, visually commanding. The writing and art on it are just absolutely fantastic. I really enjoy it. It's been getting better issue by issue, and I definitely think that Absolute Woman would be something that you would enjoy as well as I do. A lot of DC on this list, but Marvel did make an appearance with Infernal Hulk. We're only a couple of issues deep on Infernal Hulk, so it's a late add here to my top 10 for 2025, but the Infernal Hulk is definitely a horror first type comic. And I feel like it's exactly what the Hulk needs. It fits and blends well with the Hulk mythos. It leans into body horror, psychological dread. The idea that Hulk isn't just powerful, he's terrifying. Banner's curse has weight again. The juxtaposition between Banner and Hulk has weight again, and the transformations feel earned and dangerous. I can't wait to see where this book goes. I think it's going to be one of the hottest books of 2026. If you're sleeping on Infernal Hulk, go out there and grab your copies now. Issue 1 sold out everywhere. I know it went into reprints, so you can grab reprints of it. If not, if you're lucky enough to grab an issue of Infernal Hulk #1, you won't regret it. Check it out. The Moon is Following Us is the latest miniseries by Daniel Warren Johnson. And if you know anything about me, I love DWJ and the things that he's done in the past. I fell in love with him on Extremity a few years ago. And have followed his writing and drawing since then. The Moon is Following Us. This is a great story about this girl who's trapped in her dreams by this malevolent force, and a mom and dad that actually venture into her dreams and nightmares in order to save their daughter, and what you'd be willing to do in order to save your family. And it's one of the most emotionally resonant books of the year for me. It's intimate. It's deeply personal, as are a lot of Daniel Warren Johnson's stories. It proves that small stories can feel just as massive as these world-ending events that we get all the time in comic books that are super great. It's the kind of comic that stays with you long after you finish reading. It's a complete story, as Daniel Warren Johnson does. He does these miniseries, usually like a 1 through 10 or a 1 through 12. So you can read the story, enjoy it, and put it down, and not have to worry about, picking up issue after issue. These books also get released in trade paperbacks and graphic novel format. So definitely check it out. The Moon is Following Us. You won't regret it. DWJ is just top notch for me. One of the ones up on here that was a surprise pickup for me, I was just kind of attracted to the first issue, so I grabbed it, and I was completely compelled by the premise. We're Taking Everyone Down With Us is the title. It's an explosive, emotionally charged crime thriller centered on revenge, obsession, and generational fallout. Story follows a young woman who's a daughter of a notorious supervillain in this universe that it's in. It's raised in the shadow and the legacy of her father, his violent downfall, and rather than escaping the past, she embraces it, but on her own terms. It's not necessarily a redemption story. It's about inheriting damage and weaponizing trauma, and choosing destruction over forgiveness. It's pretty got some pretty cool pulp crime energy in there. I love the idea of taking the superhero and supervillain archetypes, putting it in like real family settings, and how it would affect the loved ones of your family if you were a supervillain or if you were a superhero. The tone is loud, it's angry, it's intentional, and definitely it's chaotic. And I definitely think that it's really worth reading. You don't necessarily have to be a comic book fan per se to enjoy this story. It kind of takes the superhero genre and takes a little spin of its own on it. So We're Taking Everyone Down With Us, one of my top 10 books of the year. Continuing to be one of my favorite books is Transformers and the Energon universe. Robert Kirkman and then Daniel Warren Johnson was writing it for a while, but now is switched over to Robert Kirkman. It's a long form storytelling. It really treats the Transformers universe with an adult, mature perspective. This is not Transformers for kids. It's violent. It's realistic. There's real stakes. Characters die. I do love how they pay homage to the original Transformers. They're using the original character designs. The art is just gritty and stylized and over the top. And it's one of my favorite books for the last couple of years, and continues to be. Now with the new creative team of Robert Kirkman and Dan Mora, I'm really excited to see where it goes. It respects the past without being trapped in it. It is, I guess, technically a reboot or a refresh, but it doesn't. It essentially retells the story of Transformers as if it were told for an adult audience, as opposed to when the book and the cartoon came out when we were kids, where it was meant for children. So if you love Transformers as a kid, check in on Transformers Energon Universe. There's also G.I. Joe and another book called Void Rivals that kind of rounds out that universe. They're all fantastic. Those two, there wasn't room on the list for, but Transformers, top notch. Got to go check it out. And then the most bombastic superhero event to come out in forever, probably since I was a kid, is DCKO. DCKO is pure comic book adrenaline. It understands the spectacle, the momentum, and fun. It doesn't feel empty. It has big personalities, big action. The characters in it, Superman and Batman and all the other DC heroes and villains and Joker. It's definitely take whatever the formula for big superhero comic events are. The geniuses at DC right now understood this. They put a format on it. The whole DCKO bracket system. We got the boss battles coming with outside of DC universe characters that are gonna be popping in, like from Mortal Kombat, from The Boys, Vampirella. And the way they're releasing the books with the tie-ins, because the tie-ins are always, if you're a fan of comic books, you know about these comic events, they always tie into the other books. It's always kind of like a gimmick to get you forced to buy other books, but The tie-ins don't feel wasted. They feel important. It doesn't feel like I'm just buying something to complete a set. Like I'm getting value and story, and every single story so far in this DCKO event has just been absolutely exciting. I can't wait to see how it keeps going. I can't wait to see how it ends, and I want to see what DC has coming for us when this is all done. So yeah, this is pretty much my top 10. Superheroes reimagined, horror done right, indie books that are swinging for the fences, licensed comic books finally hitting their potential. It's been a great year for comic books. It's been a great year for pop culture. 2025 is like a year where creators stop playing it safe, and it shows. Like these ladies and gentlemen that are in comic book creating right now are just like swinging for the fences, and they are hitting home runs. It's never been a better time to read comic books, and that comes from someone who's been reading now for over 30 years. I absolutely enjoy what's going on in mainstream new releases. So if you've never read comic books before, now may be the time for you to step in. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed my list.